Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So let's just dive in, and let's start off with this tweet here from Digital Asset Buy, and he is saying, I predict settlement in SEC versus Ripple. If that's going to happen, it happens within 90 days of when they were forced to turn over the documents, according to John E. Deaton 1. After watching this clip, I'm convinced we get a settlement and never see the Hinman documents. Now, I would love to play this full clip. It's about 3 minutes long. It's actually almost 4 minutes long. So I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to waste your guys' time. But what I will do is I'll skip to the part where Johnny Deaton is talking. By the way, I do apologize if YouTube does go to mute this. They have been on an absolute chaotic rampage with monetization purposes and things like that. It's insane in terms of like copyright. I just played a Ripple video. I think that was like a couple days ago, and they like muted it. So I do apologize if this is fully muted, but listen closely to what Johnny Deaton is saying here.
Settlement, it would be from within 90 days of when they were forced to turn over the documents. And so my timeline agrees with Jeremy Hogan in that sense. Ongoing and future sales of XRP by Ripple and in the secondary market are not secured. That if they don't get that, there's not a settlement. If they get that, there's a settlement within minutes. I mean, I'm paraphrasing Stuart Alderati, but he basically said, not to me, to the world, that a settlement happens very quickly if that happens. And if I'm advising Gary Gensler, I'm saying, look, these emails definitely are going to cause issue. We can seal all of this up right now in a settlement. Also, we're really gonna loot, Gary. We're gonna lose. Let's see if Ripple will pay, let's pick $100 million. Let's take that victory. We can narrow it and say that, each crypto is fact and circumstances, and just because XRP is not a security, that doesn't mean the others aren't, and we can still go after each other one. To me, I'd be in Gary's ear saying, you can get on TV, instead of talking about Kim Kardashian with $1.3 million, dude, you could get up there and say that you held this company responsible. This one of these big fintech companies. You got $100 million in addition to the $100 million you got from BlockFi. You're holding these companies accountable. You could just spin it politically. You can imagine all the spin masters. It would make us vomit, right? Personally, to hear him spin it into a victory, but he could.
At the end of it.
And that is the case. Listen, there could be multiple ways that we reach a settlement. There could be time frames on it. I mean, it could be within 90 days. It could be much sooner than we ever expect it. It could be within minutes after we see a few discussions around these documents. All we know is that this is the big time to pay attention to the SEC lawsuit. Why? Well, because we already have the documents. They were forced to, turn over those documents. And within 90 days, we could see a settlement from that day. And again, it already has been a few days since we've seen that. To me, I don't believe that these documents will see the light of day. We have to definitely watch and wait and basically relax while we just count down the days. But I will say this. A lot of people have anticipated a settlement in the past. It has failed. I'm not going to sit here and give you guys a full-on time frame. If I wanted to predict a settlement, I would say within 2 to 9 months. But again, things in this market have happened a lot sooner than anyone expected them. So I am preparing myself now for a settlement. I'm preparing as if there was a settlement tomorrow, because you never know in this game. XRP to me is still extremely undervalued. XRP will still be undervalued until it is, well worth the double-digit plus figures. So when we really kind of look at XRP, I am taking this time to not only accommodate for the fact that we have been in this massive lawsuit for over 600 plus days. We have been under the all-time high since 1750 plus days ago. So we are expecting a massive blow-off topping point for XRP that could be well within the 8 to 10 to 15 plus dollar range. Could it hit, even higher prices? Sure, it could, but we are anticipating that day where we fully break out, go into price discovery, and the FOMO just builds stronger than ever before. And that is what we are anticipating. Now, again, with all of this in mind, we are seeing a lot of updates around the SEC lawsuit. In fact, over here from Crypto Law US, a letter from 5 Democratic members of Congress, which has an anti-crypto tone and implies the industry lacks legitimacy, demands answers from the SEC Gov on its the rapidly spinning revolving door. Even the anti-crypto caucus sees it. Just leaving this here as well. And we do see down here from August 12th, did Hinman commit a crime? He ignored the legal warnings from the SEC Gov ethics and met with Simpson Thatcher again and again. It's time for an investigation. Connect to Congress and demand your lawmakers support an investigation. If the pro-crypto caucus doesn't get serious about SEC Gov oversight on policy and ethics, how is there going to be trust in the government from digital asset holders? There's just not going to. And I think that we demand seriousness right now from Congress. And we do see over here from Eleanor Tourette in a letter to Gary Gensler, Senator Warren, and AOC, ask him to clarify what he's going to stop, what he's going to do to stop the revolving door issue between the agency and the crypto industry. Full letter below. Over 200 government officials have moved between public service and crypto firms, serving as advisors, board members, investors, lobbyists, legal counsel, or in-house executives. Even Gary Gensler's own party knows that he's doing a terrible job with crypto, and I agree with XRP Crypto Wolf here. And I think that this is very interesting. I think that if this does get fully... I mean, listen, when we really kind of look at things happening around this lawsuit, things have been getting very interesting for a while. But this, where we do see Congress step in, could be a huge event. It's basically on the same level, by the way, as the Hinman documents. So this is very exciting. We do see over here Brian Armstrong, which we recently actually talked about on a video talking about the corruption around crypto. We do see from Brian Armstrong, how does this serve America's interests? Lack of regulatory clarity is harming American investors and driving the industry offshore. And we do see CFTC and the SEC chairs may disagree over whether Ethereum is a security. Of course, these big names like Brian Armstrong and a ton of other ones have been fully supporting Ethereum for a very long time. We all know why. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, we've been covering this for a while. We do see down here from Anderson, he's saying, funny, when Ripple got sued, I didn't hear much from you. You thought they would stop, didn't you? And again, when the lawsuit broke about XRP, a lot of the big names around this space laughed. They sat here and said, see, we told you so, and everybody thought that it was all fun and games. And now the tone is extremely different around this space. And I do think that the tone is going to continue to change because I don't believe that they're going to stop with XRP or any of the top, like, you gotta remember, the top 25 tokens, most of them, if not all of them, are free game for the SEC. Do you honestly think that they're going to stop with XRP? And I also, going back to that initial video, I like that Johnny Deaton said, a good recommendation would be clear XRP, go after other players. Simple. Because listen, we know that there's clear securities in the space. And I'm not saying that that would be beneficial at all. I'm just saying that we know that there's a ton of securities within this market. We know that there's a ton of trash within this market. I mean, when you look at it, there's 20 plus thousand cryptocurrencies in this space. Most of them are not even currencies. There needs to be clear regulations ushered in, but I don't think that the way that we are seeing regulations being handled right now is even close to what we should agree on. We need regulations that are going to allow for innovation to continue to move forward, and we need to have a regulatory framework that supports what these actual currencies are. Currencies. But, yeah. I mean, these big names have been extremely quiet for a while, and I think that's comical to say the least that now they are coming out of the woodwork once we do see Ethereum being questioned here for it being a security or a currency, which, by the way, if you guys haven't been following the Ethereum news, we've talked about and we've always brought up in terms of an example that the Ethereum developers actually were dumping Ethereum back during 2017 and 2018 at the all-time highs, which was also very comical to say the least. Now, what I do want to talk to you guys real quick about is Ripple's massive campaign. So we are seeing XRP and Ripple everywhere. Shout out to Jack the Rippler over here, but we do see this is Ripple is on Wall Street. Look at this. So we do see Wall Street. Here you guys have crypto means business, Ripple, and this continues on for a while. There's signs for it everywhere. For an example, here you guys have Wall Street, and then over here we have, again, impatience is a virtue. Send payments 24/7, 365, 7 days a week, Ripple, and again, it's plastered everywhere. And this is not the only place at all. We've been seeing Ripple everywhere, especially around the world in London too. Things are heating up for that Ripple Swell event. I think that's only a matter of time before we see a lot more shift happening around Ripple. I do believe that their campaign has been growing extremely fast. They've been doing an incredible job marketing-wise. So I'm very excited for the future around Ripple as well as XRP. I think that things are only starting to heat up, and I think that everything happening around this case could also play into a perfect storm brewing behind XRP and Ripple, especially as they continue to expand in terms of on-demand liquidity. If you guys did miss this announcement, it happened back during the beginning of this month, where we did see their newest partners in Europe, Lemonway and also XBAT, will use our crypto-enabled payment solution on-demand liquidity to manage internal treasury and provide faster, more affordable retail remittances. And of course, we do see down here a little bit of a breakdown between this I should say is a full quote from the chief operating officer, but XRP Crow posted this: by using Ripple's on-demand liquidity to underpin Lemonway's treasury operations, we are looking forward to bringing significant benefits to our business. Ripple solution allows us greater flexibility around when we make payments to our partners, releasing us from the traditional banking cutoff cycle and driving operational efficiencies, which will allow us to free up funds to invest into our businesses. You got to remember, like, all these major companies are going to expand rapidly through this service because it allows them to really go beyond what the traditional banking system allows them to do. And we do see down here, Lemonway is a pan-European payment institution dedicated to marketplaces, alternative finance platforms, and other companies looking for payment processing, wallet management, and third-party payment in a KYC/AML regulated framework. Its payment solution is trusted and used by over 1,400 marketplaces in Europe, including 200 crowdfunding platforms. So this is an absolute giant of a partnership. And remember, we've talked a little bit about XBAT too. We might do a full-on video on this because there's a lot more to really kind of look into this, but we do see down here from XRP Crypto Wolf again, Ripple XRP on-demand liquidity will be adopted by every financial institution if they want to stay up to date and not be left behind. I actually agree with that statement. I think that this would be very beneficial for all financial institutions to jump on board, and I do think that Ripple actually released recently a report on financial institutions and how they are really kind of heating up the adoption cycle of crypto, and I think that's only a matter of time before we see a lot more growth within that area as well. And like I said, some of these companies like Lemonway, they might show off on Twitter as a little bit of a small company, only having 5,000 followers. But when you actually look at the statistics behind it, for an example, from what XRP Crow did post, they are giant names in the game around finance within the fintech area. So pay attention to the domino effect that is going to be happening through on-demand liquidity. I even said on Twitter, and I even said it in my video from yesterday, I believe, I was like, once we do see on-demand liquidity picking up to the point where it's massively adopted globally, it's end game for Ripple with XRP. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys have more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.